Hey, Ange.
Hey Les, how's it going?
It's going well. The reason I
Good.
hesitated, I'm a little tired,
Yeah.
so I had to get some caffeine nearby. I've had
Sí, mi
yeah,
también.
twinsies.
Yes.
Um, Busy couple days, past couple days traveling and doing stuff, so it's like I'm burning the candle at both ends.
Mm-hmm.
And that doesn't go over well for old people.
No.
We need our rest, like we need our
Yeah,
soft shoes.
because we will get knocked out.
Yeah.
Did
Yeah.
you say
Out.
soft shoes?
Yeah. We need rest and soft shoes.
Okay. All right. That sounds like an 80-year-old told you that.
Listen, listen.
I don't need soft shoes. I wear them, but
You
I
wear
don't need them.
stilettos? Oh, yeah. Okay. When's the last time I saw you in a pair of 6 inches?
It's just I choose not to.
There
That's
you
all.
go.
That's
There
all.
you go.
But my lighting just went dark. Let's
As
see if I can
usual.
fix that. I don't know why that happens. I think it needs
It
movement
says
or
she's
something.
so bright, I'm
Mm.
going to dim a little bit so as not to
Okay.
show
Is it
her
better?
up. No, it's the
Is it
same.
better?
But
Oh
it's
my
okay.
goodness. Is it okay though? Is it really?
So, welcome to another episode of Black Boomer Besties from Brooklyn.
Hey folks, I'm Angella and you know who that is.
I'm Leslie.
That's my bestie, Leslie. We have been best friends for almost 50 years. And, you know, this is the thing. We are two free thinking older Black women, and we just like having candid conversations about life. We tend to go deep on things. And so, and we have been through a series of changes in our
Okay.
perspectives over the years. And so as things come up, we bring them here, we talk about them, we agree, we disagree, we fight,
Mm-hmm.
we make up. We
We've never fought.
never
Isn't that
ever.
crazy?
That's really
We've
crazy.
never had a period where it's like, I'm not speaking to
Never.
that bitch.
It
That's
doesn't
it.
even
I'm not talking to her.
not
Nah,
one
nah.
time.
It's Angie
Not
on the
one
phone. Don't
time.
answer. Don't answer. I'm not home. We've never
It's
did
just
that.
it's even silly to think about. We've
Isn't it
we've never
crazy?
done it. Never done it. And it's not for lack of trying. No, I'm kidding.
I just won't go away like a wart. I
So
just
what do
keep
we
coming back.
like a wart? Oh my gosh. Do people still get those? It just used to be a thing. Like there was always something on some
TV,
advertisement on TV
Camphor
about
8 or
warts.
something. Yeah.
Yes. Like we
But
what
then they
the
realized the FDA took that crap off because it's like it doesn't work. That's not how you
oh
treat warts.
shoot.
And,
What?
you know,
Is that why?
that's what I'm thinking.
Who
They
knew?
didn't want to
Who
get
knew?
sued.
Didn't want to get
Anyway,
sued. No more snake oil. No more snake oil. Just for just for crypto and things like that. But anyway, I didn't say that. So Les, what are we talking about today?
well, before I get into the conversation, and I think it's an interesting one, I always do, I want you to hit like and subscribe. Why? Because what we have to say, I think you'll find funny, you'll find interesting, you'll find poignant, and we want you also to hit like and subscribe and notifications too, because you want to get all of it. We come to you about once a week or so, sometimes more than that, and you want to know when we drop new content. So hit it now, please.
Thank you, thank you. Okay. We
So
should tell them what
Ange,
we're
what?
talking about before we ask them to do that. But
But
thank you.
no, they
Okay.
they they trust us. Look at
They
this
tr-
face. Come on, would I
Look
lie?
at this face. Is this the face of a liar?
Exactly. So listen, you know that saying, you can't teach an old dog new tricks,
I do know that saying,
right?
yes. Mm-hmm.
It's not true.
It's not true. It's really not true.
Because one thing that I realized is that it's never too late to do new things. Not only that, it's not too late to live new dreams or to
Mm.
dream up new dreams. Let me give an example. I know this is going to sound really funny, but in my entire grown ass life,
And it's
First of
been a
all,
long one.
I love driving convertible cars. I think they're cool. I think, for some reason, the vision of just like the TV starlet, maybe, with the scarf around her head and driving on a Pacific Coast highway. And, life is so fun and frivolous. And the sun, I'm a sun worshiper. So the sun and this, I always loved driving convertibles. And it honestly never occurred to me that I could own a convertible.
Like you could choose to buy one versus renting one when you go
Well,
on
the
trips or
thing
whatever.
is, whenever I would vacation, Maui, California, Florida, I would always rent a convertible.
Okay.
But it never once occurred that this is something that I could own. Isn't that
Mhm.
crazy?
It's crazy. I
And
mean,
and
yeah.
then and then like one I don't remember when, but it occurred to me like, wait a minute, I don't have to rent these cars all the time. I could actually drive one all the time. And that's when I got my first convertible. But it was just weird when I think about it because in for decades, it just never occurred to me, why don't you buy yourself a convertible?
Right.
Isn't that
Right.
weird?
I think it's weird because it's not about whether you could afford one or those types of
No,
things at
wasn't like
all.
that.
It was about it's almost like, what did you not think you deserved it, or it just wasn't for you, or
No, it wasn't even that deep. It was just that I just never thought that it was something that people that I could own. It was only
okay.
the it's the weirdest thing. I only had the option to rent one. I could never have one
Ah,
permanently.
got it.
I
Got
don't
it.
understand. It just
Yeah,
in retrospect, none of that makes sense.
none.
And when the light bulb came on that, wait a minute, Les, you could buy one.
You
That's
could
why I now have two.
you you could actually have one. You can
Yes.
vacation all the
And I
time.
could have it, and I could take the top down when I want and put the top up when I want. Oh, I'll
Pictures.
put
Wait, wait,
up a
wait.
picture or
Hold
whatever.
on.
But it's like
Let me tell
it's
you guys a
it's
picture
almost
that
like
I'm
the
gonna
world
find.
opened up.
I'm
Go
gonna
ahead,
find the
what's the
picture
picture?
when we were in Florida and you bought the outdoor furniture for the backyard,
Oh,
and we to
all
get
right.
it for
You see, you're just trying to turn this into something
no, no,
ugly
no,
or
no,
let's
no.
shame
I'm just
Leslie again.
this is not a why is that shameful? Are you feeling ashamed?
No,
No, this isn't a
actually.
shameful.
All
It
right, what
wasn't a
she's
shameful.
saying is the reason she see, that wasn't even germane to the conversation, and you
It
just
was. It
brought something
was.
else in that wasn't that's not what I was talking. That's not the wind in my hair and with the bonnet and singing,
I
Good Day
here is
Sunshine.
here is
No.
here is why that comes to mind for me.
Okay.
We would never have been able to get that stuff home without your convertible.
It's true.
We wouldn't have been able to take it home.
It's true. So, what she's saying is I one of my convertibles is down in Florida at my house, and it's the only car that I have down there, so it's the fun car, the beach car, the workhorse car, the car that you should not put stuff into your nice leather seats, instead get a truck car, it's like I haul it. It's the workhorse,
It's the
but it's
workhorse,
also
yeah.
the wreck horse.
Right.
So that's what she's talking about. We kind of furnished the house transporting. You should see the pictures of the trees I put in the back to when I was doing
Ooh,
landscaping.
I haven't
So,
seen. It's been a while.
yeah. But
W
anyway, so the point that I was making is that we don't really think about things as being attainable until
Mhm.
we attain them, and then
Right.
it's like, why didn't I do this years ago?
That's right.
Let me tell you a funny story, and then I'll let you jump in. But I'm sitting at a dinner a couple of months ago, and people were just talking about like old times and this and whatever. And one of the guys there said that, you he grew up eating Pop-Tarts.
Mhm.
I'm a Pop-Tart girl. Cinnamon
I
and
was
then
never
the strawberry frosted. I'm a Pop-Tart girl. So I'm like, I'm leaning in and listening. And we're all talking about, yeah. And they were saying how, they would grab the Pop-Tart and take it to school with them or whatever as breakfast or whatever, and it's like they eat it out the package and stuff like that. And then he went up to his friend's house, one or two levels above him. And he said that the guy put the Pop-Tart in a toaster,
okay.
and that was the first time he had a heated up Pop-Tart. He's like, he's like, the world opened up to him. He's like, "What?
Mm,
You
mm,
could
mm,
put
mm.
this in a toaster?" It took it to such another level. He's like, "Oh my God, it was toasted." And we were cracking up laughing. But again, it was something that he didn't even, and I guess like the car, it's
It's the
not like he
same.
couldn't afford a tote because he got the Pop-Tarts already.
Right, right,
It
right,
just never occurred that that was a thing that was doable.
right, right. That could be a part of his life. He could
Yes.
actually
And
do
that's just
that.
it.
Yeah.
I looked at driving a convertible as a vacation
Mm,
pleasure only.
mm, mm. Wow. Wow.
And then when I realized how ridiculous that was, and it's like, get the doggone convertible.
Get the
And then I
convertible.
bought my first convertible off of Craigslist. Remember
Yeah.
that? So,
Yeah.
yeah.
And the thing is that once you kind of allowed this in, like the idea in,
Then the
you
floodgates
the
opened. Then
it's like
Leslie was back. What else can I get? Hey, another one for the one for down south, one for up here.
yeah, yeah.
And I love it. I've never
You
looked back or regretted it.
I almost can't remember how you were without a convertible.
I know, right? I was just with my little sunroof trying
And
to get as much sun
but
as
I
I
mean,
could.
you enjoy them so much. They're so
Oh,
like,
yes.
so much.
Isn't that crazy?
And you denied
Something
yourself.
so
Yeah, it
simple.
is. It is crazy. Okay. Now, this was hard for me to think about, um, to come up with because I'm kind of wired to think in possibilities, right?
Yes,
So
and yes. Mhm.
it was hard. But there are definitely some things that um I
That
never
it never occurred to you that you could do or attain or
never
have?
occurred to me. Never,
Like what?
never, never
Like what?
occurred to me. Okay, I had to write some down. So this one, I never ever thought that I could dismiss a friendship.
Are you trying to tell me something?
I've never thought,
Oh,
you're
is
good.
this the warning light?
Listen, I got tenure. I have tenure in this friendship,
Yes.
so I'm
Yes,
not gonna let that
friend.
go. It's like I'm not giving up my passport. I'm not. Okay.
Exactly.
So, but here's what I
So
mean,
go
because
ahead.
I'm saying it with all kind of. I never thought that I could establish boundaries for myself
Oh.
and the way that I wanted to be enjoy. I never thought I could make those things stick.
Wow.
I
That's
never thought that.
huge.
It's huge.
So say a little bit more about what you mean in terms of letting go of friendships.
Well, I what I mean is that I have had now two friendships that were so incongruent with the way that I want to live my life
Mhm.
that I no longer long for them.
Mm.
I don't wish I had them. I'm not trying to reconcile. I don't mean that reconciliation could never happen. That's not what I mean at all.
Mhm.
I just mean I never thought that I could do this and not always try to make things work.
Ah.
I always thought that I would
Yeah,
have
yeah.
to bend and tolerate and, okay, maybe I'll see them less often
Oh.
or those types of things, but it's shocking to me how involuntary it is now. Like, in a way, I couldn't make myself, um I couldn't make myself be the one who says, "Okay, let's agree to disagree," or whatever it is. I can't make myself do that anymore. My boundaries are so
Mm.
clear.
Wow, and you realized that you weren't getting what you wanted from the relationships, or
Yeah, I just realized that I talk about this here, maybe not as often as I used to, but joy is a really central part of my life.
Mhm.
And I don't mean happiness. I mean the things that are
Mm.
fulfilling, the things that are aligned with my values and things
Mhm.
like that. And in these two cases, um, they're not aligned with my values.
Oh.
And um, in a way, like tolerating them is not an option for me anymore.
Mhm. Wow,
Yeah.
I hear you. It's like you made this line in the sand. Now
Yeah,
now now I think that's a bold step, and I applaud you for that because it's like I know you're a nurturer.
I am.
You're also the type of person that bends over backwards to
I
be in
do.
community with someone.
I
So
am,
it's like for
yes.
you to say, that's it, you
This
know.
is what I mean. I never thought I could do it.
Yeah, yeah.
I
That's
never
that's
thought
that's
I could do it.
interesting.
And the thing is, it's not with anger, like, I'm not at the point I was angry, like, I got there, and that's what made me start to see things,
Mm,
but
mhm.
I'm not talking about it right here in a with any sense of anger. It is
Yeah.
really around boundaries. What am I gonna let in? What am I not gonna let in? And listen, I pray for them. I don't wish them any harm. There's not any iniquity or anything. It's just that's not for me anymore.
Mm.
It's not for me
Yeah.
anymore. And try as I might, I couldn't make it for me anymore. I couldn't make it for me. So that's one of the things that I thought about that I really never thought I could do. I always thought that
Mm.
I would be the one to because I have a forgiving kind of spirit, I always felt like, "Oh, I could forgive anyone." And I can,
Yeah.
but I don't have to have you in my life. You know what I mean?
That's the
It's
key, but
two
I
two
really think
different
that's the
things.
hallmark of forgiveness,
Mhm.
We don't have to say, "We will continue to allow you in our lives to do that thing over again, to hurt us again," or whatever. Forgiveness is, "I wish you well.
Mhm.
I'm not wishing that it didn't happen and dwelling on things like
Right.
that,
Right.
but I don't mind if you're over there."
Yeah, and they
You
don't need to
know?
do anything. There's nothing that
Right,
they
you're
need
not
to
looking
do.
for
I'm not
anything from
looking for
them.
anything.
Mhm.
Exactly. It's just, yeah, I'm on my flow and it's like, "See you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye." Anyway,
Wow, but
that's
you
one of
know
mine.
what? I'll tell you, this one is kinda deep, though,
Okay.
but but you stirred this up in me and made me think about it because, you're saying how it doesn't work for you anymore in your life or you're
Mhm.
being about joy. That's why
Mhm.
I ended my marriage, and that's why
Did
I'm
you
now
actually say that?
divorced. Um,
Wow.
man, you
Wait, hold
acting
on.
like you didn't know about
I
this.
know, but
No.
this is a whole
I'm
'nother
like,
level.
"Wait." Well, what you said is that w well, what I was thinking is that what I realized for myself is that I was tolerating an existence,
Mhm. Wow.
and it didn't occur to me that my life could be different. It
Wow.
didn't occur to me, as most people, I suppose, I don't think I'm unique in this, I took my marriage vows very seriously.
Mhm. Mhm.
And I also took the for better or worse very
Right.
seriously.
Right.
And, you know, not I as you know, I got with my husband when I was kind of young. I didn't know very much about, marriage and unions and things like that. I just thought that people stayed married no matter
Mhm.
what, and then
Right.
if this was the worst, then the better comes later, or if this is the better or whatever. But what eventually happened in my marriage, and my husband and I were together for decades, is that I realized that one, I was never going to be personally fulfilled in my marriage.
Wow.
Never.
Wow.
And believe it or not, I didn't think that that was a requirement
Mm.
of a union partnership,
Mm.
of a
Mhm.
marriage.
Right.
So
Did you
the
never think, or did you, or were you willing to not have that because of the bigger kind of principles of, you know,
it was
like what?
certainly the bigger principle.
Mhm.
And I had years ago reconciled and put in my head that I
Mhm.
will just live my life like this.
Right.
It was a decision I made
Mhm.
that in order to stay in this relationship, I had to put aside the desire for joy or the
Mm.
desire for
Wow.
that type of connection that
Right. Right.
that I wanted. And
Yeah.
instead, I just never knew that there would be anything else for me in
Mm.
terms of in terms of a spouse or
Right.
relationship.
Right. Right.
But over the years, what eventually happened is that we started living separate lives because
Mm.
obviously, well, not obvious, but he wasn't apparently being fulfilled either, as neither was I. So we just started doing our own thing.
Mm.
And,
Mhm.
because I have the personality that I have the circle of friends and family and
Mhm.
whatever,
Right.
um, I had way more outlets, but I honestly say it never occurred to me that I would leave my marriage
Mm.
and seek the joy and the contentment and the love that I wanted and felt I
Mm.
needed. It never even
Wow.
occurred to me.
Wow.
Isn't that interesting? Some people start think like I thought about divorce a long time ago. I didn't.
Right.
Mm-mm.
Wow.
I
Wow.
wish I did actually. We probably would have saved each other some heartache and time and all
Yeah.
of that. But
Right. Right.
it may never have occurred to him either. But
Mhm. Mhm.
I mean, who wouldn't want to be with me?
I phew,
No,
this is what I'm
hey.
thinking. It's like, what the hell? Crazy. That's
but
crazy talk.
but for me, I never thought that a fulfilling relationship would be part of my life. And
Wow.
I know,
Ooh.
isn't that crazy?
Ooh.
And it was okay for a
Yeah.
while because I had so much other things that completed me,
Mm.
but
Mhm.
just not that. And
Mm.
then through a series of events,
Mhm.
it finally said like the Pop Tarts, ding, wait a minute. There's another
Mm.
way.
Wow.
There's another way. And
Wow.
not only is that other way,
Mhm.
is there another way, but I could have that.
Oh,
You know,
yes.
that world is not, I'm not excluded from that.
Yeah. Oh my
And
gosh.
that's when I started making a move that I deserve to have, that what I was looking for and yearning for and put aside was not crazy, was
Mm.
not unreasonable. It
Mm.
didn't make me any less of a Christian woman or
Mhm.
of a godly wife.
Right.
You know, these were normal needs.
Mhm.
And I wonder what is it about me that made me be okay for so long,
Mm. Mm.
settle for less,
Right.
you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I think
So that isn't that interesting?
it's and obviously this is not a surprise to me, but hearing it in this way
Mm.
and
Mhm.
how, um knowing how many times you basically said, you know, this is my lot in life.
That's what I did. That's what I did. I
This
said,
is what it is.
God brought
Yeah.
him to me and God brought us together, and this must be the way he wants
Did
me
he
to
though?
live in my life. I don't know, but this was my
Right.
thinking.
Got it.
We think
Mhm.
we have the ceremony. God brings you together. Let no man put us asunder.
Mhm. And so you said like you don't know why you, but society, rightfully or wrongfully, I'm not judging this statement, but society puts that expectation on you, right? The we live in the culture, um, long-term marriages are highly, 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 highly celebrated in our culture,
Yeah.
right? When everybody,
Oh,
oh, we're
yeah,
married for
appropriately
65
so.
years. Yeah,
Yeah. If you can be married for 65 years and you haven't committed murder, listen, give that person a medal.
but here's the thing, you were up until this point, you were willing to be that person.
I wanted to be that person,
Okay.
and
Right.
initially I thought it was a failing on my part
I
that
totally
when
understand
I
that.
decided that
Mhm.
this I can't do it anymore, that
Yeah.
and what I realized, and this is real,
Mhm.
what helped me make that decision was that I saw the two of us and we were not our best selves. And
Okay.
that was the same thing for him. He
Yeah.
was not his
Mhm.
best self. I've known him for,
Mhm.
as I said, many decades.
Mhm.
He was not his best self, and I was not.
Mm.
And I knew that we were doing that to each other, or
Oh, wow.
creating that in each other. And that's not
Right.
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 That's not
Right.
right. Yeah.
Mm.
Crazy, right? But it
Wow.
never occurred to me that
Crazy.
I could be happy in a
Yeah.
relationship.
Yeah. I wonder why it occurred to me.
Ding!
I wonder why it occurred to me.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Yes. I've been divorced twice. And again, as a Christian woman, and I totally get this idea of questioning your faith and your spiritual practice and things like that because there's so much expectation around
Oh,
you know
uh,
being staying together no matter what. And I think some people think even if there is different types of abuse, physical, mental, emotional, financial abuse, people still think that you should stay with that
oh,
person.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
um
Yeah, you don't get
yeah.
a whole lot of, spiritual protection from
Right. Right.
abusive marriages and things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, Les, I don't know. That's
Anything else that you can think
that's a
of
big
that
one.
I I
um
think I have one more that it never occurred to me that this was a possibility. Shall I say?
I'm afraid I don't know what you're
Oh,
gonna
no,
say.
no, no, don't be afraid, it's not scary.
Okay.
It's not
Okay.
scary. Last fall,
Mhm.
I took 3 months off from work.
Oh, yes.
It never occurred to me that that was something that I could do.
Yeah. Big deal.
I was, dealing with things at home and the stress of whatever. Remember, I know we did a podcast. I overslept a
Mhm.
couple times. I was tired. I wasn't taking care of myself very
Right.
well.
Right.
And it occurred and I decided that I wasn't bringing my best self to work, and
Right. Right.
my patient, so I took
Yep.
time off from work.
Yep.
And I guess in my 20 plus years as a physician, I never knew that's something that one could
Never
do
knew. Never
unless
knew.
you're sick. Like,
Yes.
people would say, "Are you not well? Is something going on? Or is this FMLA, family leave? Are you taking care of a family?" I said, "No, I'm just tired."
Just tired.
And it's like, what? First of all, I never thought that I could live for 3 months without a salary.
Mhm.
I never thought that the job would do okay without me because I didn't wanna leave my
'Cause
colleagues in the lurch.
yeah, you couldn't be
Side note,
selfish like that.
they did fine.
They
They did just fine. And it was a time for me to just step back, reflect on some things, chill, sleep late, and whatever. But again, who like, people take sabbaticals in order to take care of some projects and stuff. I don't call mine a sabbatical because I wanted to watch TV,
Yeah,
you know?
well, that it's
But the thing is
it's a sabbatical.
well the thing is, it took a couple of months to say, "Wait a minute, can I take" and it's so funny because the job was like, fill out this online thing and press the
Wow.
button. In 1 minute, it was like
It was done.
approved, done. Wendy and my manager kept asking, "When do you think you're gonna come back?" "I'm not sure, maybe January," and this and that, and it's like, "Okay, what?"
That's crazy.
The
We
job
gotta give
didn't
a
fall apart. It stayed. Patients did well without me. People welcomed me back when I came back. It was like, what?
Yeah.
So here's the thing. I'm telling you, it is possible to take the time, your personal time, if you need it. Why?
Yeah.
Because everybody else does.
Yeah.
And nobody is indispensable.
Right.
We think,
Right.
"Oh, it's a family. I gotta be there." You know what?
Yeah. Yeah.
If I had stayed out a little bit longer, they would have forgotten my name, I'm sure. I came back so that they could pronounce Osei Tutu properly. That's why I came back. But really,
We gotta give a shout out to the, Exodus Summit community, that we
yes.
are a part of, because it's almost like you're in a bubble when you're in that community because these things are now it's what you do. You need a break, you take a break.
Yes.
You wanna move abroad, you move abroad.
Yes.
It's so common. It's so commonplace, and we think that everybody does this, everybody knows,
Yes.
and they don't. It's really a small group of people who
Yeah.
really understand that these things are
And I
available to
just kept
them.
thinking Stephanie Perry in my head, like,
Yeah.
you wanna be this is your lazy time. You wanna
Right,
live a life of
right.
ease. And it's like,
Yes.
ease? I could
Yes.
what? Ease?
What?
We think that that's foreign and that's for other people. It's like
Mm.
the convertible. That's for somebody else.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
not something for me, you
Right.
know? And it's like, or like Dr. Kamani says, it's you can leave a job that's not
Yeah.
working for you.
Yeah.
You can leave a
Yeah.
job that's hurting you. But we don't think of it like that.
Mhm. Mhm.
And I say what I've been saying now the last couple of months when I speak to folks is that the only limitation on the things that you can do is coming from here.
Mm.
We first have to I had that conversation today with another physician I was working with because she was wondering when she can retire and
Mhm.
should I retire and whatever. I said, "Listen, the first thing you have to do is put it in your head that it's a possibility."
Right.
We often arrest our own progress
Yeah. Preach,
because we
Leslie,
never think that
preach.
it's possible. I'm telling
Yes.
you, go get that convertible.
Go get it. You
Go
better go
get it,
get
go
it.
get it.
Go
Put that
do
top
the
down
thing.
and
Just
let your hair go.
get that Pop-Tart into the toaster. Do
Yes.
it. Do it.
Yes.
It's for you. A warm Pop-Tart is your right.
Exactly. And leave that man if he's fucking with you. No. I'm glad that we can make light of things like that. But the
Oh
concept
my
is really
gosh.
true,
Yeah,
you
it is
know?
true.
Yeah,
It is
yeah.
true. It is true. Wow. So, this is who we are, folks.
Yeah.
This is who we are. We push against, and this isn't, as you said, she's been in this situation in her marriage for a long time. So it's not one day you wake up and it's like boop. It wasn't one day I woke up and it was like, oh, I am not going to really deal with toxic friendships anymore. I'm not gonna, you know what I mean?
Right,
It's a
right.
series of just constantly evaluating your life and what makes it better, what doesn't make it better. You know what I
And
mean?
are you moving toward the way that you want to live and your life to look like?
Right.
And project to yourself, in 5 years from now, would I be happy where I am today?
Mm, mm-hmm.
You know? And if not, that's the day to
Grant,
make the changes. It was just the
grant.
same thing when starting medical school at age 36.
Mm-hmm.
I said that if I continued teaching, how would I feel in 5 years from now? And I just
Grant,
said, I need to see what else I can do if I can
grant,
move toward my dream of being in medicine and becoming a
right,
physician.
right.
And thank God I did.
Yeah,
But that's where it starts. It
yeah,
has to start in your mind
yeah,
first.
yeah. And I'm
Yeah.
just gonna make one adjustment. I'm gonna swap out the word happy for the word joyful, right?
Mm.
Because and I really, really make this point because happiness is kinda it's a transient. It's like it can be a moment in time, and it's oftentimes not, within your control, you know what I
Mm.
mean?
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
joyful is just another level. It is like
Goes
it
from
is a
here to up here,
it's a
up here, up here.
divine right.
Yeah.
It's a divine right to be enjoyed, to
Mm.
find satisfaction, to feel, that
This
you are living the life that you are meant to live, and that's a whole different level than happy. Do you
Yeah.
know what I mean?
This sounds like a podcast episode.
Coming up. It's coming up.
Yeah, yeah. Are you living in happiness or are you living in joy? You know?
Oh, we got the title. All right.
I would
Noted.
say that I'm living in joy right now.
How's it feel?
And it's gonna be even more different and yeah. Oh, it feels wonderful.
It does.
I'm proud of
It
myself,
does. You
it
you
took
should be.
courage.
You should be. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. I think the world of you. Um, you know, I think that I mean, it was really difficult. It's
It's
still
still, yeah,
difficult, you
yeah. I
know what I
mean,
mean?
nobody wants to.
And
Yeah.
so I think that it's hard to see someone you love go through that. And it's also knowing that um, when you go through difficulty, if you go through it in the right way, like in a posture of what am I supposed to be learning from this to take into my
Mhm.
next thing? And I know
Mhm.
that that's how you have been. It's one of the key things that has helped you
Yeah.
to make it through without coming through like battered and bruised and just
Yeah.
kind of like
Yeah.
barely making it out the door.
And there have been
And
times
so
that I did barely make it out the door.
yeah,
You know what
yeah,
I mean? And
right.
perhaps, those are the things that led me to take the time off from work, the times when I
Mhm.
couldn't get out the bed or this or that.
Mhm, mhm. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
You're something else. Will you be my
Anyway,
bestie?
I think so. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Thank
Let's
you.
thinky, pinky. Yes, yes, yes. There you go. So I want you all, now that you all are subscribers and you get notifications, think about some of the things that what would not only bring you joy in your life, but what kind of bars are you putting, pull down the shade? What are you restricting yourself.
Mm.
You restricting yourself, not others, because
Mhm.
you can think about that and come up with strategies to work on the other people. But for yourself,
Mm.
that's where it has to start.
Yeah.
Because when I decided, for example, to go to medical school as a single parent, as a this, as a that, as a this, when people were telling me, this is impossible. What are you
Mhm.
talking about? You
Yeah,
got a
and
kid and this,
you
and
did a
how are you
lot.
going to feed your kid and doing all of this? But I first decided that this was something that I was going to attempt to do. And then the
Right.
rest is history. Thank you, Jesus.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. 'Cause man, again, Leslie, um, you're a keeper.
Okay. Okay, good.
You'll never be rid of me. You will never be rid of me. I have tenure. You will never be rid of me.
Yes.
I'm so proud of you. I love you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you. And this has been another episode of Black Boomer Besties from Brooklyn.
Brooklyn.